I must tell our viewers that even before this interview, Thierry made us do a relaxation and it really calms the mind. So thank you for that.
So the relaxation is the key for the beginning, whatever you go on the set, whatever you go on the stage. So there is a sense memory, which is 30 minutes, 40 minutes, where any actor is working by himself.
Wow, that's fascinating. And in the process, your job involves from the right rough material to taking them to excellence. So, who makes it to the excellence stage? What does it take for an actor to train under you and to reach that level of excellence? What do you require from them?
Total devotion to art. Total devotion to try to get something which make the public so happy. An actor in India called Irrfan Khan is magic. He's magic because he's using himself. That's what it's about. It's not to make things. It's to bring your dimension. It's to open your dimension. That's what acting is.
Acting is about becoming a child again. And what better way to learn acting and be playful again than with the international acting legend, Mr. Thierry Bleu. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
So, what brings you to India?
I love India first. The vibration, there is something in India which is not only spiritual. By the way, spiritual is quite new about. And I'm doing a masterclass for some professional actors, and I will try my best to bring them next step.
Wow. So, could you tell us how do you train these professional actors? What's your methodology?
Well, it's a pure method acting. I trained 14 years with one of the master of the actor studio, was selected by Lee Strasberg to teach actors, and he was also training with Meissner, he was also training with Stella Adler. Very, very devoted man to art and to actors. He was a coach of many Oscarized actors in Italy. And yes, we actors have an artistic dimension, but it's very often hard for them to take the time to reach it, to take the time to go inside and to clean the habits. And they are on the set, very free in inspiration. We were talking about children. The children, they live things in the instant. They're very free. They're very focusing on what they're doing and very enthusiastic. The energy is there. The brain is not taking the lead. I think what I want to bring to the actor is that kind of being spontaneous and very involved in the story they want to bring to the public.
Wow.
That's what is important.
Lovely. And so, what's a day like at one of your workshops? If you could just take us through.
The first things, which is the most important things for an actor, is the body relax. So any session is beginning with a relaxation.
I must tell our viewers that even before this interview, Thierry made us do a relaxation and it really calms the mind. So thank you for that.
So the relaxation is the key for the beginning, whatever you go on the set, whatever you go on the stage. After we do what we call a sense memory. Sense memory is Lee Strasberg. Stella Adler was practicing too, but Lee Strasberg was the one who created it. So there is a sense memory which is 30 minutes, 40 minutes, where any actor is working by himself with something to work on. That means connecting with the imagination and making the things real in a way. And then we work on scenes, workshops. This masterclass will be more working on scenes, and through working on scenes, working on technique. Obviously, because I think that when you do technique class, it has to be technique class for many months. If not very necessary to do that. So I think when I do a masterclass, it's centered on scenes, but it's very centered on how can the actor use himself and his capacities.
Absolutely. Use their artistic instrument, as you've mentioned.
That's right. That's what it's about.
And it also makes me want to ask you. You've trained so many actors, right? And I'm pretty sure that you also have this instinct wherein you see someone and you feel like this person could be a good actor. If you could just hone in on that instinct and tell us what is it, how do you identify who could be a good actor?
It's difficult to give an explanation. It's in his eyes, There is something in an actor in his eyes. And if you open the door, then you can go inside. It's a soul. An actor is a soul, it's a vibration. So even when I work, I don't prepare. I do things in the instant. So if you make connection with somebody, and I would say you can feel the vibration and you can feel the emotional capacities, and you can also see at the same time the obstacles.
Wow, that's fascinating. And in the process, your job involves from the right rough material to taking them to excellence. So who makes it to the excellence stage? What does it take for an actor to train under you and to reach that level of excellence? What do you require from them?
Total devotion to art. Total devotion to try to get something which make the public so happy, so touched by their work. Actor works for the public. Of course, there is a production, there is a movie director, yes, there is a director, but an actor has to touch the public. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So sometimes actors, they forget. Sometimes they are alone with themselves, which is a very uncomfortable position. What do I do? Am I good? Am I not good? So that sense of being devoted to the story and to the character. And what I really try is for them to forget themselves, which make them free. And also to let the imagination drive their way, to let the inspiration drive their way, to let them being able to use themselves, whatever is conscious or the unconscious part of them, to let them being fully with their partners and to react to the partners. Like in life, I'm talking to you, you're reacting to me, I can see there are many things happening inside of you, at the same time we're talking, there are some tensions, there are some fact that you really want to do good and that you're very curious about what I say, that I pick it up from you, and I react it, and you see a smile on my face because I like somebody devoted to art like you. Then actors has to leave the world in which they have to work. That's what it's about. That's what is important. In the instant, without any control. So I want that from the actors, and I want to help them to know how to prepare before they work on stage or set, because that's where the result comes from.
Right. And that's actually a very interesting point Thierry mentioned. I must tell you that, in Bombay, a lot of youngsters from all over the country come to try their luck in Bollywood, and a lot of them are struggling. They don't know, they can't make it, and they spend years trying to make it with no plan in mind, maybe not that devoted to the craft. So, to the lakhs of people who are struggling in Mumbai to become an actor, do you have a method, or do you want to just share some insights on how they can kind of move to the next level?
About themselves first, they really must to work on the body relaxation 24 hours. If the body is not relaxed, the performance can't be there. If you see the great actors, and I'm thinking about Brando or Sigourney Weaver, who is actress, or Meryl Streep, you will see the body is always relaxed. They're always free. Because if you tense your body, it means that your talent is going through the body and is not expressed in your acting. Yes? So that's the main point. Another point, they should be, wherever they have, putting their attentions on life. When I walk in the street, I look at the people. Who are they? What is their story? What's happening there? Oh, birds here. Oh, nice. Oh, the night, the dog is doing this. Acting is about having everything inside, but then putting your attention outside. Then if you train to do that, you will bring it in your acting. There are many things that you have in life that come naturally in your acting if you take care of it. So the work of an actor is kind of 24 hours and 24. It's not discussing, having a drink, and having good relationship with the producer or with the director. It's how you develop your instrument. And you are your own instrument. So my advice is first, be in the life. Don't be in your thoughts, don't be in your emotion alone by yourself. The second thing is do trainings. But do trainings with people who are trying to make you better the way you are. Not somebody who is showing you to do like me. There are many places where a guy who is teaching, he said, I'm going to show you and you're going to do the same. It's not what it's about. What is about an actor is, the actor is unique. So he has to develop his own dimension in his own way. I was talking with a friend of mine who is a producer, talking about young actors. And he said, Thierry, that's a drama. Some schools are dramatic because they say this year we work on that, the next year we work on that, and the next year we work on that. Then you get the diploma. When an actor is getting out of the school, he's quite a beginner still. So another thing about the school, most of the school, they too much about the steps. There are some actors who are developing this way, and some actors who are developing the other way. But there is no real step, That's what I do when I'm doing a master class. Of course, many actors, you have to repeat the same. But there are some actors that will develop first maybe the imagination. Some other actor, they will have to develop first concentration. You have to go step by step. So the bases are very important. But what is important is what you're going to say in the instance with what you see from the actor. An actor is not an animal that you say, okay, make it like this, make it like that. It's not conditioning. It's to set them free. But you can set free the people if you work in the moment. You understand what I mean? So I think what is very important for actor is always to have an instrument like a sportman, who is always trained to play immediately at the best level. And that's an investment. I see some actors, they buy beautiful clothes, they go in a good restaurant. And I said to myself, when they have the capacity to do a masterclass, they don't get money anymore that for. So they think because they do relationship, it's going to work. Yes, it's very useful. But what is very useful is to be devoted to art. That's what is important. Because that's where they're going to be happy in life. You can have the most beautiful clothes in the world, you can have the most beautiful house in the world, and sometimes I work with great actors, and they have so much what they need in the material world, that they're not happy because the instrument inside of them is dead. They have no more the capacity to go back to themselves and to use their soul. Because what is important in an actor is the soul. What is burning, what is so strong inside of them, what is their initial motivation. So that's what I would say to young men. From your job, you should get happiness. You will get happiness if inside you're so alive and so much yourself and discover yourself, even in the negative way. Brando was somebody who was working in all dimensions of himself, plus the imagination, and he made everything real. It's the same for Meryl Streep. She's extraordinary. an actor in India called Irrfan Khan. He's magic. He's magic because he's using himself. That's what it's about. It's not to make things. It's to bring your dimension. It's to open your dimension. That's what acting is about. So a young actor, they should focus on that. Because that's where is the talent. The talent is not the way you do things in the good way. There is no good way. And the wild way sometimes is much more important and interesting than the good way. You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like in life, sometimes, you adjust to people, people say, oh, well, he's quite a bit, he's a nice guy, but a bit boring. And there are some guys, they have something very special and say, oh, well, it's easy to deal with him, but he has something, he has life. That's what it's about. Did I answer to your question?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. So I think a lot of the young viewers of this would understand what Thierry is trying to tell us, that it's all about focusing on your instrument, and that's what's going to make you happy. Right?
But no ego. If you're proud, if you have too much ego, then you skip.
Yes, yes. An artist can't have ego.
Proud,
Yes.
whatever you want, but you have to be devoted to your work. Your work has to be your main purpose. If you become the main purpose for yourself, the instrument is going to go down. That's for sure. Because you will pay more attention to what people think of you and to what you think of yourself than what you have to do. And what you have to do should be leading you.
Absolutely. Talking about developing your instrument, are there any books that you would like to recommend?
You don't find keys in books. You don't find, when you read a book, even if the advice are
Yes.
great, and there are great books which were written by great coach and great director, Strasberg and all those genius.
You can't find.
Yes, and even Stanislavski. So it's nice to read them, and maybe Stanislavski is more poetic than Strasberg, who was very precise and very much about the psychological side of a human being. I think when an actor watches video, if you see Lee Strasberg working, you get the soul, you get some substance which is going through your own personality in a way which is not the brain.
Right.
Sometimes you understand too much, then the brain take the lead on you. You want to make what you understood, but any artist, you don't make what you understood. You make what's happening inside of you.
Absolutely. Beautifully pointed that acting is not cerebral, it's intuitive, right?
Yes. It's in the moment.
Right.
It's the creativity. It's all about creativity.
And you have such a fine background with a master's in psychology. So do you think that that helps you in acting a lot, like knowing the psyche behind a character or a person? Does that help?
You have to know the character as if it was you, and then you have to find the character inside of you.
But does knowledge of it, like an academic knowledge of it, help, or do you think that that's not the prerequisite to anything?
I have a master of psychology. I have to say, it was never useful to me.
Right.
It was useful in a way if I working with some kind of character, with an actor who is kind of I would say, or paranoid or schizophrenic, whatever, then it gives me some backgrounds. I believe a lot in imagination, in your own way to understand the character, because the way you imagine the character, there is already some part of you in it. Then it brings you on the way. But you have to understand the character, as if it was somebody you know for all your life. That's very important. And everybody has his own way. So maybe some people, yes, maybe the information they can have and how they can understand psychology and things like that could help. But some other ones, it's going to be intuitive. It's a research, When Brando was working on a character, he was walking in the street and then experimenting things. That's what it's about. It's experience of a character which will brings you in the dimension of the character in a free way. That's what is important. So the more, if you use the brain not as an information but as something which is going to lead you, you're going to be trapped in a jail. And as an actor, you must be free to go in dimension which has no logic. And the brain is always to bring you back to the logic. That could be dangerous.
That's a beautiful thought. And we are from Mumbai Theatre Guide, and we would love to hear your take on plays as well. So, are there any fine plays that really inspired you in your journey that you watched?
It's more about the quality of the acting. But if the plays, of course, I mean, there are great authors in play, there are great people which are, makes you, yeah, then you travel, you watch the play, you're on stage, but it's mostly about the quality, the director, how much he's able to work in the right direction with the actors, how much the actors are free to experiment in every minute the life on stage. I love Shakespeare, I love Chekhov. There are many plays that I love. I don't want to give names because it's open space, you know.
Right.
I love stories.
You love stories.
That's all. So if the play is well written and if the story is exciting, that's it. Whatever is a big author or a small author. But the play has to be understood in a way of life. That's what is important.
Absolutely. And just to sum up, our conversation about plays and about acting in general, if you could tell us what differentiates an actor acting on stage with an actor acting in film.
The actor working on the stage is very lucky because there are rehearsals, so he has time to experiment. If the director is letting him proposing things. The actor in film, he has to prepare before the movie, kind of, I would say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe 7 months, depending of the actor. Daniel Day-Lewis, it takes 1 year, and his performance is incredible because he's really becoming his way of making the life of the character. But the technique is the same. You have to have something very strong inside of you and to deliver it. I would say, there was a question that a student asked for my master when I was training with him. My master said, on stage you have to talk louder. You have to be alive. That's what it's about. You have to be alive. As soon as you lose the sense of life inside of you, at the same time you're acting, you lose your acting. But of course, plays are not written the same way than movies. Movies are more like everyday life, in a way. You understand what I mean? Plays sometimes have a way, actors and characters have a way to express themselves, but it has to be twinkling, it has to be shining. So for me, it's, Al Pacino is doing a lot of play, and he's doing a lot of movie. Yes? So maybe when you work in a play, maybe sometime it is slowing down, you understand? Because right. it's not the same circumstances. Movies, they go fast, it has to flash fast.
Yes.
Sometimes play, the situation goes slow. Then you have to adjust, but the work is the same. Exactly the same, in my mind. Except if you want to play Shakespeare in a very, very traditional way. But if you want to play Shakespeare in a way that a movie where you can see Al Pacino doing The Merchant of Venice, and he's slowing down his acting, but the intensity, step by step, is always there. Did you see this movie?
Right.
It's fascinating.
Absolutely. And I read how fascinated he is by plays in his autobiography as well, right? Al Pacino's autobiography. So that's fascinating, and I think we've had a fascinating conversation about acting, about plays, everything with Thierry. So could you just tell audiences till when are you in Bombay, and when are your workshops being held?
Okay, I am in Bombay until the 3rd of August, and the workshop is beginning the 29th. We do 6 days, afternoon time, and after I will probably stay a few days, maybe to meet people, maybe to see some play, and to enjoy life, of course.
And to enjoy Bombay, of course. So thank you so much for watching.